Hello everyone, this is FDV's vladerag here to bring you another episode of Learn to Play. Today we'll be looking at the very basics of Zerg economics. Now I must confess, I was a little nervous making this one because Zerg is my weakest race in general. But hey, you know what? The basics still hold true. And I will be bringing them to you today, assuming my mouse does not freeze up. There we go, got it back. Just like with Protoss and Terran at 9 supply, you want to be making your, in this case, Overlord, in those cases, Supply Depot and Pylon, and just continue worker production. Today we will be looking at the 15 hatch. That is how we will be showing off Zerg economic basics. Once that Overlord's done, immediately producing workers all the time. You can actually send these Overlords to scout, but that's not really important to today's discussion. Just gotta wait for some larvae. Producing. You'll notice I am banking. That's part of the plan for a 15 hatch build. Literally at 15 supply, before I build anything else, I will be building a hatchery. Now, it's true that this build can be a little risky, but frankly, it's better than, it's better to know how to do it than not. And it's not that difficult, and it's very powerful if you can pull it off. Gonna hotkey this up, but keep it rallied to a separate point, rally both of them there, and keep producing workers. Now with the 15 hatch you want to produce 2 workers, then save up and get your spawning pool, because otherwise it's a little risky. And also, of course, one of the parts of the basics of Zerg economics is the queen, which we will want. I'm just gonna keep producing workers here. Now you might be wondering, in the previous episodes I mentioned that you want 16 workers on each hatch. With Zerg it is perfectly fine to be a little ahead of that, simply because you're going to be spending these workers, you're going to be spending them on buildings, on various other things. Did I forget an Overlord? I forgot an Overlord. That's not too important. I'm just going to do this, do a quick extract trick. No, don't go back there. Looks like I overdid it a little bit. That's okay. Notice that I did go oversupply then. Just in time, getting that Overlord finished, starting my queens immediately. You'll notice that does cut into my bank just a tad. And at this point, I'm just going to start rallying workers down to my natural. No real point not. Just going to keep producing workers. That's just the thing. You just want to keep building workers. And even now, I can go ahead and take my third. If this was against a Protoss who went FFE, for example, this would be the perfect time to do it. No real reason to take gas yet. Looks like you see, here's my problem. I am just terrible with Zerg Overlords. You'll want to be producing Overlords just all the time almost, because when you are, trying to be Zerg, you'll be running through larvae crazy fast. Just gotta keep your rally points all together. Looks like I messed up a hotkey. Just gotta be careful about all these things. You'll want to hotkey them all together. There are various tricks you can use to make sure you hit these larva injects. I don't really know them very well because, again, I am a Protoss player. Just going to be starting to take my gas now around the 6-minute mark. Rally this back here. Keeping up my production. Need to get some Overlords out. You'll notice that with these queens, I am now having a lot more larvae than I used to. Just going to send these into the gas. And keep up my larva injects. Now, the thing about Zerg is that you're going to want a little more workers than the other ones. Not just in, one base, because one base, again, you should have 16 workers on minerals, 6 total on gas. But you'll notice how I have now taken my third. In essence, I'm going to want to have 4 bases of saturation, as opposed to the other races, which it might be preferable to have, say, only 3 bases. Zerg wants a lot more workers. And you're going to be producing workers constantly all game, especially in the late game. That will make you able to throw down spine crawlers, spore crawlers, all the buildings you need. It's very important to have a lot of workers. Never forget that. You're just going to want workers. If you don't have workers, you're doing Zerg wrong. Keeping up those larva injects, you'll want to keep your queen energy as low as possible. And that is basically the basics. Always remember that when you do build a building, you have 2 options. You can either A, produce more drones than you need to start out with, like I have done. You'll notice that I have 18 on each hatchery, which is alright, simply because I'm going to be spending those larvae if I want to. Like, let's say I need, they've got marines out, and I need to build roaches. Well, there you go. See how I've dropped my worker count? I don't get that worker back. Now, you can either produce more workers to deal with that, or you can have more to begin with. I'm sort of in the camp of having more to begin with. That way, better safe than sorry. And that, my friends, is the basics of Zerg economics. Next few episodes will be dealing with production. Hope to be seeing you with that. This was FDV vladerag. Wow, can't say my own name. Vladerag with Learn to Play, where we take Bronze League heroes and turn them into Silver League